the performative male. And I don't mean this performative male. Hey, look at him go, get it? He's like a letter, male, and he's like dancing, performing. Do you get it? Do you get it? Okay, wait, no. Okay, I'm sorry, that was a dumb joke, and I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Well, except for maybe one more time at the end of the video. The performative male. A funny trend that has been circling around the internet for quite some time, with skits, memes, and even news articles talking about it. It's gotten so popular that it's jumped from the internet into the real world, with the performative man competitions happening in cities all over. Large groups of people get together to parody this archetype, and it looks like a lot of fun. It's pretty funny, and it's honestly really cool that this trend is bringing so many people together. No, I'm dressing like this ironically to make fun of those guys that dress like this just to sleep with you. I would never do that. Which is why you should sleep with me instead. But I'm sure you guys have heard all about this by now because I'm a little bit late to this. Damn! Yeah, I almost didn't make this because being even a month late to a trend in internet time is the equivalent of a year late. And man, so many people have talked about this already. But I decided to make this video anyways because I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm not just going to be standing here watching clips and talking about how cringe it is and laughing at them. Or I don't know, I might do a little bit of laughing because it's a little bit funny. But no, today I will actually be defending performative men. That's right, we like to keep you on your toes here on the yomickii channel. No, Dan Schneider, not those types of toes. God. So just in case you didn't know what a performative man is, a performative man is a guy who appears to consciously curate his behavior, style, and interests to project a certain image, usually one that aligns with being emotionally aware, aesthetically tasteful, or different from other men. The guys usually look pretty stupid. They're usually drinking a matcha, got a tote bag on, a labubu strapped to it, cropped shirt, wired headphones, probably listening to Claro or something, reading feminist literature novels, and... oh. Crap. Guess it's a good thing I can't read. But the catch of the performative man is that it's all fake. It's all ruse in order to manipulate women into sleeping with them. He's not really a feminist. He's not really emotionally intelligent. He's just performing all this to get women to like him. Now you might be thinking, geez, Mickey, these guys sound pretty awful. Why would you want to defend them? And to that, I'd say maybe if you'd stop cutting me off, I could get to my point. Sorry. I've only had 2 matchas today. I'm a wreck without my 3rd one. Much better. But yes, of course, being performative to manipulate people is wrong. Obviously, it's wrong. Being performative is not only bad for you because you should be comfortable with who you are and you shouldn't care what people think about you. But it's especially bad in the case of the performative man because it can be predatory and honestly pathetic. Pretending to be something you're not in order to get women to sleep with you. Especially if you're pretending to be a feminist, because that literally means you're pretending to think that women are equal to you in order to get in their pants. And that just means you're a liar and a loser. But now that we've cleared that up, I'd like to go into it a little bit more. According to WikiHow's How to Spot a Performative Man, a performative male is a guy who adopts certain personality traits, interests, or styles to attract female attention. He isn't genuinely interested in these things. He just wants to appeal to women and attracts them. For example, a performative male might read feminist books, drink matcha lattes, and listen to Claro. But wait a minute, you didn't say that he pretends to drink matcha, listen to Claro, and read feminist literature books. He's actually doing those things. Is that still performative? Also, is this supposed to be a performative man outfit? This guy's just wearing regular clothes. Performative males are like birds during mating season. You ever see a horned up bird try to get a mate?
Don't touch that duck, that's mine. Come on, baby, throw the shit back, don't hide.
Hey, they going crazy. They going crazy. Don't hurt them now. Now this is a performative male. Hey. The bird displays colors and movements to signal something about its value to attract a mate. That's essentially what performative men are doing as well, literally putting on a performance. They perform certain traits, interests, or values, not necessarily because they believe in them, but because they know it signals something desirable to others. It's supposedly not so much about authenticity, it's about perception. Men have always put on some type of performance for women since the dawn of mankind. From ancient strength competitions and hunting displays meant to prove dominance, to flexing their wealth and status in the industrial age. Fast forward to the hipsters of the 2010s, curating taste as a personality to stand out against the everyday man. Men have always adjusted their image to attract attention. But what's different now is that men are actually performing taking part in women's interests. As women gain more cultural and social influence, we're seeing men adapt in response. Adopting their language, their aesthetics, their spaces. Basically, we're all stealing women's swag.
He copied my whole
flow! Word for word, bar for bar!
And sometimes it's not always about genuine appreciation, but as a way to stay desirable and socially relevant. The Pinterest soft boys of the 2020s were the first wave of this, and that has now evolved into today's performative man. This is one of the first times a wide margin of men are being made fun of for having women's interests. But that's unfortunately just because this is the first time a wide margin of men have cared about women's interests. How long has the human race been alive for? Oh, right. But to me, the question that always comes up into my head is, why do we think this is performative? The answer to this question is a bit of a mystery, because people will swear that they can always tell when something is performative, but that's not really true, especially on TikTok, where people's reading comprehension seems to be non-existent, and people can't even tell when something is a joke or obvious rage bait. I mean, seriously, guys, how are we still falling for this?
You also believe water is a scam. Yeah, I mean, water's a solvent. Water does not hydrate you. It dehydrates you.
So what about these performative men makes people call them performative? Well, typically it's doing something outside of the norms of what we believe a man in our society should do. Weird enough, reading seems to be the biggest tell of a performative man. Reading radical feminist books in front of women, reading radical feminist books at all, reading feminist books, reading any books with female characters, reading books where they even mention women, reading in a park, reading in a coffee shop, reading on a bench, reading in public, reading in any public space whatsoever. Matter of fact, reading in your own home. No, reading at all, any type of reading, because boy don't read, boy go gym, girl read.
As soon as you start seeing him read books in public, that's the performative final boss. He's not even gonna read the cover of the book until he gets to a coffee shop. Mind you, he's gonna order matcha and make subtle glances at the barista in front of him across the counter.
Reading in public is performative man final boss. And people still wonder how Donald Trump was voted president. This might be a hot take, but reading might low-key be good for you. Yeah, I know. I'm a little performative. If a man puts a Labubu on his tote bag because he knows a girl he likes is into that, that's performative. But if a guy goes out to buy that hot new gray Nike tracksuit that looks way too small on them because all the boys at school said it was cool, is that performative? Yes, it is. But why don't we ever hear people call it that? Because gender norms. When I was researching for this topic, okay, who am I kidding? When I was doom scrolling for hours watching different performative man videos until my eyes were bloodshot, I realized that this entire stereotype assumes that if men enjoy something coded as feminine, it must be fake. Matcha and Claro for girl, black coffee and Post Malone for boy. Ladies, if you see a man with a matcha, run. While I do think it's funny that men drinking matcha must be performative, because no way anyone would actually like that grass water juice.
I'm just kidding, I really like matcha.
It's kind of harmful because that implies that only women can like bad, dumb things. This trend kind of instills a lot of fear in young, impressionable men to have any interest in anything considered traditionally feminine.
Yo, I want to know who the fuck created the word performative male, man. Yo, like, let me enjoy my matcha at my tote bag. I've been doing this since 2020.
I think this trend can be seen as harmful because the pros of exposing these performative men seem to be heavily outweighed by the cons of reinforcing traditional gender roles. Of course, women like simple, bad, dumb thing, but if a man likes simple, bad, dumb thing, he's obviously just trying to get with women, or he's probably gay?
Dudes, I'm not gonna lie, I'm shocked this just happened. I was walking downtown in the city I live nearby. I have just a very basic fit and this cool bag that I found in my basement one day. And some woman came up to me, like, just out of nowhere. She just kind of was like, hey, just so you know, what you're doing is performative. He was just like, yeah, that bag, super performative. I don't know what you're trying to do here, but like, it's not working.
This whole performative man trend is kind of the inverse of when women would get questioned for wearing a Nirvana t-shirt and they have to enter a surprise interrogation session. Name 5 songs right now.
What?
I said name 5 songs.
I don't know.
What was Kurt Cobain's mother's maiden name? What high school did all the members go to?
I don't know.
What is the band's 13th most popular song? What is the most common letter in the song Smells Like Teen Spirit? It's E. It's E. Any real Nirvana fan would have known that. No way girl can like cool, awesome boy music. Girl only listen to lame, bad, princess pop music because you're a girl. She must just be putting on a performance. Ooh. Wow, that wasn't a sound effect. That was really good. Ooh, ooh. Oh, what the? Ooh. Wow. Now it's just the reverse. A man orders a matcha latte and listens to Biba Doobie, and suddenly he's not a real man. He's a performative one. They also remind me of the I'm Not Like Other Girls comics, where it showed one girl doing lame girl stuff like wearing pink, and then it would cut to the cool Not Like Other Girls doing cool boy stuff like wearing black. We're really breaking gender boundaries now. I'm not like other girls, I'm not like other guys. It's just a way of people trying to separate themselves from a stereotype, to seem more authentic, more real, more genuine. But the irony is, claiming I'm not performative like those other guys is probably the most performative thing that you could possibly do. We've decided that just like how women can't be into tough, cool boy things, boys can't be into soft, cool girl things. God forbid a man buys flowers without being called performative. That's right, no flowers for you, boy. How dare you forget that you are a boy. That means you watch football, listen to Andrew Tate, and drink beer. And I hope that it's not sounding like I'm trying to say that men have it so hard and we can't do anything without girls making fun of us on the internet. But that's really not the point I'm trying to make. The endless struggles that women have gone through shouldn't even be in the same conversation as the debate on this dumb, silly trend. And there have actually been multiple trends where the butt of the joke really just is making fun of women and their hobbies. And in a way, this performative man trend might actually be some well-deserved karma, because now it's finally the guy's turn to be made fun of. But after saying that, some of you might be thinking, man, this guy sounds kind of performative, huh? And that sort of reinforces the idea that maybe making fun of performative men might actually be harming women more than it's harming the performative man. I know, a lot of hot takes today, but this performative male trend encourages people to doubt anytime any man has any type of progressive views when it comes to women's issues at all, which can denormalize any discussion of those issues. Dude, did you hear they're taking away women's right to vote? No, oh my gosh, that's terrible. She's not gonna let you hit, bro. What? Yeah, we got a performative over here. I'll send you the coordinates right now.
What?
That's right.
What?
That's right. Get them, boys. Get 'em.
What?
This trend almost feels like a government psyop designed to shame men back into having traditional masculine interests like cattle rustling or dying in wars for a rich man that would never do the same for you. Instead of having these soft feminine interests like educating yourself, leave that to the women, am I right? A large, and I mean massive, amount of people engaging in this performative man trend are men. Yes, this definitely isn't a performance, showing people how manly you are and how in line with traditional masculine traits you are. Do you guys see? Do you guys see how not performative I am? Wait, why is nobody looking? Look how not performative I am. Look how much I don't perform.
If you want to tell if a guy's performative or not, there's one thing you gotta do. You gotta ask him about some like actual man stuff. Because look, I fit the archetype. I listen to Claire, I wear selvage denim, I read, right? Performative man archetype right there. But I'm not. Literally, ask me about fantasy football, I will start talking and I will not stop. Like, look at how many of these mock drafts I've done. This is yesterday and today, right? It's because a man that's actually performative is going to tell you what he thinks that he wants you to hear. Like, being honest about this stuff is going to tear down the image that the male manipulator, the performative man, is trying to convey to you because he thinks that it's what you want to see. Meanwhile, the guy that is talking to you about Brian Thomas Jr., that's me being honest. That's me being true to myself. That's the man that you want.
This is probably the most performative TikTok I've ever seen. You're literally saying, I'm not like all these other guys. I like football. You are quite literally performing. You're putting on a show. You're on video displaying your credentials to show that you aren't a performative man. And they're so blind to the irony that they are now performing harder than any of these performative men that I've seen. They're performing harder than 2019 Kawhi Leonard. Come back to us, Kawhi, please. Please, Kawhi.
Super easy to tell when somebody's hobbies are performative. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me give you a quick example. The other day, I saw a guy with a Miffy AirPods case. And if you don't know what Miffy is, it's basically this bunny that's super popular amongst girls. So obviously when I saw this guy, I only had one thing that came to my mind. Bro is looking for hoes, because why else would you have that shit on you? You are bullshitting me if you tell me as a straight guy that you're into Miffy. Like, listen, man, I respect the effort, but no girl's gonna go up to you just because you have that on your belt.
What a sad life this guy must live. Is he so horned up that if he sees any guy having any of the same interests as women, he must be either looking to get into her pants or gay? As you can see, these performative man jokes have now circled back around and guys are just performing non-performity. Is that a word? Non-performity? Oh, okay, cool. I've noticed one more alarming pattern with these performative male TikToks. I've mentioned it a little bit, but let's see if you can catch it with this one.
Oh my gosh. No, it's just annoying that we only have Women's Month and not Women's Year. Hey, yo, your headphones aren't even plugged in. I'm on a call. With who, your boyfriend? Excuse me! Let me go, my girl!
Ah, there it is. This performative man trend is just kind of a socially acceptable way to be homophobic. They just replace the word gay with performative. Painting your nails? Girls do that. Performative. Wearing cropped shirts? Girls do that. Performative. Kissing boys? Girls do that. Performative. This whole performative man trend is actually the best possible outcome for these right-wing traditional misogynists. It's made it socially acceptable to mock these soft men, allowing them to appear genuine and authentic by comparison, while still getting to ridicule men for having non-traditional masculine interests. Before, they might have had a sympathetic wife, sister, mother, telling them that's not nice, you should be more respectful. But now, they are free to ridicule any man who dares act outside of the gender norms that they have set inside their head, that every man must follow. And finally, the ladies are on his side. But are these guys any less performative? They're just putting on a different kind of performance. We know you don't actually watch golf. Nobody really watches golf. Because now they get to sit back in their trucker hats and say, "See, I told you these soft boys were the problem with our society. I knew they were all performing. No man could actually act like that." Now someone put on that Tom McDonald.
I'm the one who they labeled as controversial and Cardi B is the role
It's so
model for
good.
12-year-old
I'm
girls.
enjoying this. Sure, there are definitely some men acting like they're into Labubus, matcha, and Biba Doobie to appeal to women. But there's arguably much more men putting on a front to get the approval and acknowledgement of other men, which in doing so, they would believe gets them the approval and acknowledgement of society as a whole. Every guy participating in this performative man trend are performing themselves. They're performing, so am I, and so are you. True authenticity can be pretty tough, especially with social media, because everyone is constantly performing on those apps or some type of approval online. I'm performing right now. I don't usually talk like this. I'm usually more chill and cool and nonchalant and sexy. Now, specifically, performative men can be more insidious in the way that they perform because their act often involves pretending to care about women's issues or interests, not out of genuine belief, but as a way to gain approval, validation, or something else. But everything we do has some level of performance. We all curate how we appear online, our clothes, our vibes, our aesthetics, our music tastes. But we can get into a bit of a paradox when trying to be authentic, because sometimes just a simple thought of, I want people to think I'm authentic, becomes performative. If I actually want to go get a matcha or go read a book outside, but I then choose not to out of fear of being performative, that act in itself is being performative. How bad is it really to see a guy reading bell hooks in the park, you know? Would you rather see him reading If It Ain't Woke, Don't Fix It by Ben Shapiro? How the hell does this have 4.5 stars? I'm sure a lot of people probably do know a guy who keeps some hardcover feminist literature books on his coffee table for when girls come over. But who knows, maybe one day he'll actually read one of those books. Maybe he'll learn something, maybe he'll become a better person, and maybe that will allow him to not be performative anymore. We forget that becoming interested in something often starts with imitation. I'm sure everybody watching has faked some type of interest to fit in. Everybody adapts to what they think will become likable, and maybe that's not so bad. Because if you really want to get more girls, don't perform being a better person, just be a better person. Not that that should be your main motivation though. Don't waste your time chasing butterflies, mend your garden, and the butterflies will come. And all that. Just something to think about. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to me yap once again. Please like and subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.